Now, I do this every once in a while on my YouTube channel, where over the course of a couple of weeks and sometimes even months, I really focus on one player in particular. And when it comes to Terran players recently, I feel like I've been featuring Clem a lot, especially in some of my recent casts. I mean, it's become pretty apparent I am a bit of a Clem fanboy, right? However, that does not mean that there aren't other Terran players out there that are absolutely phenomenal. And one of them is spawning right here in the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome, playing with the red Terran SCVs from Germany. We are looking at none other than HeRoMaRiNE's main command center. So, as of me making this video, HeRoMaRiNE is right now the rank 8 in the world, right? Let that sink in for a little bit. He's a non-Korean player who's the number 8 in the world. A couple of years ago, that would have been like, you know, the highlight of my YouTube channel. Now, obviously, right now, there are many non-Koreans that are very, very good. But HeRoMaRiNE is certainly one of the very best. And I think I've only casted like 4 or 5 of his games in 2020 so far. Or at the very least, covered that many on my YouTube channel, which certainly is not fair, okay? I'm going to try and see if I can feature HeRoMaRiNE a little bit more often. That said, though, there are tons of really good pro gamers out there. But HeRoMaRiNE, I mean, the thing is, right? HeRoMaRiNE does not play a very spectacular playstyle. He plays Terran very much so like an Innovation does, or like, for example, a Maru does. Obviously, those are some of the best players in the world, but he doesn't play a super spicy style of Terran. Right? He just plays the big timing attacks. He loves marching through the center of the map at a certain point and just completely smash his opponent's face in. It is really fun to watch, but it isn't like, for example, the way that Clem plays, where he plays extremely mobile and he splits his units in all different directions, and you know, it's a little bit more quote-unquote boring. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's obviously the best way to play, because it's how all the top-level players play, but it is a little bit less exciting to watch. Now, if you look at his Illegalec page, right, one thing that I really love about HeRoMaRiNE is that he's still steadily improving. So he's been around since the early days of the game. I remember watching his games, I think, back in like 2011? He's only 23 years old though, but it's very apparent that he's still steadily improving, and that it doesn't seem like he's peaked yet. So we'll see where this man is going to go into the future as well, but I certainly would like to cast some more of his games going forward. His opponent playing with the blue Zerg pieces. I don't think he really requires any additional introduction. He's from Finland and he goes by the name of Serral. I mean, do I really need to say anything else about Serral? Oof, almost gets a drunk kill there. Do I need to say anything else about Serral? I mean, if you've been watching my YouTube videos, I think you all know that Serral's very good. He's very good. Some people don't call him the GOAT anymore because he has recently been overtaken by Raynor on Illegalec as the highest ranked player in the world. That said, though, I mean, I still consider Serral to be the greatest of all time. The thing is, right? So when you actually look at his results, I believe he lost twice against Raynor and then once against Clem over like the last month or two, right? Which means that he didn't win the tournament that he was participating in, but he still made it to the quarterfinals once and then also to the semifinals once. The thing is, for other pro gamers out there, reaching semifinals in a premier event would be like the highlight of their career, right? And for Serral, apparently, according to some people, that means he's in a bit of a slump. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I would not be surprised at all if Serral at some point will connect the dots and just completely continue smashing for like another year or two, or maybe even longer than that, right? Yeah, there's no denying that Serral is still really good, and he still has looked extremely stable, all things considered, despite the fact that he is more mortal now than he ever has been. Anyways, let us have a look right here at the build orders before I blabber on what's about unrelated stuff. It's going to be a quick 3cc opener right here for our HeRoMaRiNE. Going for the third command center here before the starport. It looks like Serral decided to go for the Pneumatized Carapace upgrade, the Overlord speed upgrade, really early on. So right now he's going to be able to figure out, well, he didn't see the third CC, but he knows exactly the timing right there of that starport. So he knows that his opponent is going to go for that really quick, economical focused opener. I like it a lot here for HeRoMaRiNE. I mean, if you go for the Overlord speed upgrade, it's not like you can really punish this as a Zerg player, because that Overlord speed upgrade isn't free, and it would already be a little bit too late to really go for a response. Now, would you look at that? It's actually going to be a Raven here. So one thing we see a lot as a follow-up from a 1-1-1 is a Battlecruiser, or a Viking into a Banshee, or something along those lines. We don't really see a lot of Raven plays, and I actually kind of like it. I see this pop up every once in a while in the YouTube comments section, especially in like the later stages of a game when Terran players are wasting scan after scan after scan to try and figure out where those creep tumors are located. A Raven kind of served the same purpose. Now, obviously, if this would have been an aggressive opener here from Serral, this could have been a disaster going for the Raven first because it's not a very good defensive unit. But obviously, since he saw the Overlord speed upgrade, right, he knew that it was safe to get that Raven out, and I really like it. So let's see how much he can do. So a Raven is a detector. There you go. You see that? He can now see where those creep tumors are located. And I love this. This already right here, that's like 6 creep tumors. That already pays for itself. I really, really like it. Great work right there by the German player. Not a very popular thing to do, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be seeing more of this in the future, because it is certainly a really powerful opener. Alrighty, so 4 additional barracks right now on the production tab. This is going to be a big bio play here from HeRoMaRiNE. He loves going for the big marches through the center of the map, especially once upgrades finish up. So 1-1 has been started up. You can see that these upgrades are going to finish up at the same time. I think it will finish up together with Combat Shield as well. So what HeRoMaRiNE will likely do here is start up Combat Shield when Stimpack is done. And then he's going to be able to move across the map with 1-1 and Combat Shield and Stimpack if he really wants to. Gets a queen over here. That's really nice. Might even get a second queen if Brenda's not careful. Ooh, this is a big surround though being set up right now by Serral. He's got Zerglings coming in from multiple angles. The queens actually come in as well. Raven's not going to be particularly useful here. And while it looked like HeRoMaRiNE was going to be able to slither away there with his Hellions, apparently they were not greased up enough. And that means all of those fire trucks will get shut down. Fire trucks? Actually, I'm not sure about fire trucks. They're the opposite of fire trucks. They're water trucks. No, that doesn't make it a lot of... Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. The Hellions all get picked off there for free. And that's a really nice advantage right now here for Serral. It means that he can do whatever he likes for the foreseeable future. Now, 1-1, though, is finishing up. We do see this centrifugal hooks upgrade here as well for Serral. It's not going to finish up with the potential timing attack here of HeRoMaRiNE. The thing is, if you go for a big timing attack right now as Terran, your bases are going to be completely left to their own, right? And that's a little bit risky because you can easily get wrecked here. Ooh, actually, there's a drop alert coming up. Ooh, I think he's going to drop Banelings. Okay. Yeah, but you can easily get overwhelmed right now. And, well, if you march onto the creep and you don't really have a whole lot available, that also becomes a bit of a problem. Raven over here, though, trying to get a couple kills. He's going to be able to get a drop or a kill right now as well on that queen. Now... There we go. The Overlord has been loaded up with a couple of Banelings. Looks like the Raven will deny a little bit more mining time. I think I've been very clear about the fact that I like the Raven here a lot. HeRoMaRiNE, though, right now, is he paying attention? He's busy right here microing against Banelings, but the Banelings he really needs to worry about are just about to be in his mineral line. Oh my god, this is such an unorthodox play here from Serral. We don't see this a whole lot. And there we go, 13 SCVs end up going down. Zerg players are very in sync when it comes to paying attention to the minimap and seeing the drop coming in. Terran players don't usually have to deal with drops. Now, that was a nice definition there. But generally speaking, Zerg players don't, or Terran players rather, don't really have to deal with drops very often at all. Apparently, HeRoMaRiNE was not quite expecting that move. Alrighty, 4th CC coming up. 5th base already coming up here as well for Serral. Obviously, Terran players in this matchup are usually 1 expansion ahead of their opponents. So, this is not really all too uncommon. Ooh, nice targeting there for a little bit. Looks like there might just be enough here for the Terran player to stand their ground. Very nice. I mean, 4 Marines aren't going to be enough to kill that base. Eventually, this will all be cleaned up. But that was still a very favorable trade there for HeRoMaRiNE. Now, Serral has been saving up a little bit of gas, and that's because he's making a transition towards Mutalisks. So there we go. Mutas are going to be able to finally get rid of that Raven, although I would wager that that guy has paid for itself. 7 kills there in total on that Raven, plus, you know, I guess he's responsible for a couple of those creep tumor kills as well. I would certainly love to see that more often. Apparently, with a couple of tumors going down, though, Serral's going to immediately replace a bunch of these as well. The Widowmine's currently not burrowed, purposefully not burrowing that one just yet. Good splits there by Serral. And he does manage to clean this one up. In the meantime, the 4th base has been acquired. With the constant harassment here, it means that the Terran player is going to be able to morph in that planetary fortress without a whole lot of trouble. 10 mutas at this point. It's going to shut down that drop play quite nicely, but it's not quite enough yet to really single-handedly go after some of those Medivacs. Need quite a bit more Mutalisks in order to, you know, really start up that Medivac harassment as well. Pretty good situation here for HeRoMaRinE, though, all things considered. He's got the +2/+2 finishing up right now. And that's going to potentially give him the timing that he's looking for. If he really wants to, he could move out right when he's maxing out, which is going to be in about, like, 30 seconds or so. Thor is coming up as well. It's going to be helpful against those mutas. Now, this is good. Little bit of a drop over here, over at the third base of the Zerg. Pretty sure that this will be cleaned up without too much trouble. Now, that was a little sloppy there. HeRoMaRinE tried to get the split off there, but not quite going to be able to do that in time. All right, so... Oh my god, more banelings. Nicely done there. I'm expecting a big timing attack here for Terran. Yeah. So, he needs to get something done, right? The traits have been quite good, but Zerg right now is also going up to like 5 base eco. And that's where Zerg becomes really scary. All the way up to 89 drones. Now, once again, another attempted baneling run by. I think this time around we did see 11 SCV kills there. So, nicely done there by Serral. The thing I like the most about these baneling pushes and these baneling drops is the fact that it keeps this Terran player pinned back, right? So while this is all going on, Serral is heavily out-mining his opponent, and HeRoMaRinE is not really doing a whole lot of counter damage. Now, that was an unfortunate Widow Mine there as well. Not quite going to be able to get a lot of pickups, but these little like run-bys over here, they kill a couple of Zerglings and a couple of, you know, a couple of SCVs here and there, but it's giving Serral a lot of time. Once again, here come the banelings. Relentless harassment here from Serral, constantly trying to deal is HeRoMaRinE right now with those little run-bys and those banelings and whatnot. This timing attack right now is hitting like 2 minutes later than we normally see it. And that's very significant because it means that Serral's right now maxed out and he's got a bit of a bank. Question is, does he have enough? Currently dedicating a lot of his attention right now to killing this planetary fortress. I'm not sold that there is actually going to be enough. Additional SCVs, though, do end up going down. Planetary does live. Ugh. Enough Marines just barely available, apparently, to now shut this one down and, you know, prevent that planetary from going down. Base, in the meantime, does get killed there by HeRoMaRinE. So that's 14 SCVs going down. Planetary, though, lives, and HeRoMaRinE does get a kill on a base there. So, at this point, we see 92 drones versus only like 60-something SCVs. That means that this army supply here for the Terran player is huge. Look at that. 94 for Zerg, 136 here for Terran. There's Thors right now into the mix as well. I love what he's doing here with the Widow Mines. Just spreading those around the map. Now, here come the Zerglings trying to get a wraparound on some of these big mechanical units as well. That will hopefully open up the front door for those mutas to really join in too. Looks like the Thors eventually get cleaned up. Reinforcing Zerg units will arrive here in just a little bit, but the creep spread is still very mediocre because HeRoMaRinE has constantly been denying it, and that means that he can continue his staging right over there, right? He's just going to rally all of his units across the map. At this point, all of the Zerg units have been dealt with on the side of the Terran player. And this is where those big marches really happen. This is what HeRoMaRinE loves to do. Question is there going to be enough big Widow Mine detonations on both of those, or I guess both of those Widow Mines rather, connected on those mutas? And all of a sudden, there's only so many of the mutas remaining. Now, 50 Zerglings, though, on the production tab. Look at the patrol push. There's just a patrol of Terran units right now moving across. Once these Zerglings spawn, I'm pretty sure that Serral's going to be able to push this back, but this has been a very scary push. HeRoMaRinE probably wins most of his games off of a timing attack like that. It takes a lot of skill in order to defend against this properly, especially with the lack of creep here. These banelings just have such a difficult time actually connecting with any of this Terran army. This is what Gabe does, though. Look at this. Constantly rallying units across. Basically, constantly inviting his opponent to move off creep. And I love it. Good splits there by the Terran player. Serral's still mining so much more, though, right? Like, I'm looking at the income. I mean, there's a lot of mules available, so that's nice. Actually, you know what? Maybe I spoke too soon. It looks like HeRoMaRinE may be breaking through this right now. The efficiency here of the Terran player is absolutely phenomenal. Great splits as well, negating a lot of that splash damage off the banelings. Good pickup there by HeRoMaRinE. I mean, eventually it looks like the Medivac and the Thor go down anyway, but that was an extra volley by that Thor. Oh man, this is such a scrappy engagement. Oh my god. It felt like the Zerg player was going to be able to push this back like 3 minutes ago, but it's still going on. These medifex, man, they provide so much value. The problem is, at this point, though, HeRoMaRinE lost a lot of medifex. How many have gone down? Yeah, that's 10 medifex that were picked up. Those are really the units you don't really want to lose. Obviously, at the same time, Serral has lost a ton of mutas as well, and you don't really want to lose those either. Okay. Now, of course, both of these guys are still macroing, right? Serral has taken a 6th base in the bottom right-hand corner and another one in the top left. So he's got plenty of mining here still happening, whereas HeRoMaRinE is only just now securing a 5th. I think this is actually the main base, yeah. The main command center decided to float on over there. Alrighty, we can breathe again. Remember, well, I mean, this is going to be a bit of a boomer topic, okay? But remember Wings of Liberty? For those of you that watched StarCraft 2 back then, we would literally see StarCraft players maxing out once, and then they would clash for about 10 seconds, and that was the end of the match. If you compare that to where we are at right now in 2020, that was like a, I don't know, like a 3, 4, 5 minute long fight. Constant engagement, rallying across the map, really beautiful place there. Serral is gonna start re-establishing some of the creep. And that's one of the reasons why Terran could stay for so very long in this area of the map. Yep. He doesn't want to give up this position. HeRoMaRinE, that is. He knows if he gives, like, Serral a finger, he's gonna grab his entire hand, you know? And you don't really want to give him that leeway and that time to put down the creep once again. So this is beautiful. There you go. Scan will also get rid of some more of those creep tumors. And HeRoMaRinE is looking to go in for wave number 2. Is there gonna be enough, though? At the same time, looks like the Zerglings are doing a bit of a run-by. Nicely done there by Serral, trying to split the attention here of the Terran player to look for some of those juicy Baneling connections. But once again, great splits, beautiful targeting there as well by HeRoMaRinE. Serral, though, still has significantly more income, so he's gonna be able to just reinforce this much easier. As long as he buys time, he's gonna be okay. It's just that this is a really difficult position to buy time with. That hatchery is running dangerously low. Marauder stepping forward as well to try and soak up some of these Baneling hits. HeRoMaRinE, man, he's smelling blood in the water, but he knows he needs to be so cautious. He finished up his 3-3 upgrades, which is fantastic. Zerg is about halfway done with his. That's one of the reasons why this fight can last so long as well, and why it's still looking really good for the Terran. Once 3-3 finishes up, this is going to be significantly harder here for the Terran player to stay. Reinforcing units once again are coming up. Mutas actually killing a Thor there. Not really usually what they're meant to do, but nice magic boxing there as well by Serral, constantly splitting up these units and trying to negate some of that Terran splash damage. Nicely done. Okay, so this is actually a really important thing. I know it's not particularly exciting to look at these upgrades, but once these upgrades finish, all of these Zerg units are going to be significantly stronger. Serral really hasn't had the wiggle room here to transition to, say, like Ultralisks, which would be really good in this scenario, but, I mean, it's expensive, right? It's not really something you can easily get. Terran, though, has now mined out their natural. He's floating over an additional command center, so that's his natural expo, to go towards the bottom right-hand corner, but in all... I guess for all intents and purposes, this has been a 4-base all-in here by HeRoMaRinE, not adding on any additional CCs. Serral, though, I mean, he's happily mining 2 additional bases that really haven't been harassed at all during any of this, right? So, objectively speaking, despite the fact that I'm a big fan of the way that HeRoMaRinE is playing this, I'm still liking this position here for Serral a lot. HeRoMaRinE tried to, like, basically force the Zerg player to crumble under the pressure, and that's what he does. That's the way that he plays. Serral, however, never crumbled under the pressure, right? I mean, it wasn't for a lack of trying. This hatchery falling essentially opens up the front door to all of these bases over here falling as well. So, very impressive there by Serral that he actually managed to hold on, but I'm liking this position for him quite a bit. That said, it looks like the bases actually have been acquired here by HeRoMaRinE, which is... pretty crazy, actually. I didn't expect him to be able to secure those 2 expansions now. They are not planetaries, right? So it's pretty easy for the Zerg player to harass that. Here comes the cloud of mutas once again. Normally, we don't really see the Zerg players harassing these outer bases with their entire army, but since it's not a planetary fortress, Zerg certainly does have that opportunity. Banelings hunting for some SCVs or maybe some of those Marines as well. good splits. Once more by HeRoMaRiNE. Man, HeRoMaRiNE is so freaking good. You know how hard this is? Like, if you're a Terran player, you know how hard it is to, like, not die? Like, that is 2 Baneling connections away from, like, you know, spiraling out of control. It is so easy to accidentally lose in these scenarios. Now, 57 SCVs have gone down during this game. Mutas once again go around. There's a lot of red HP SCVs here as well, so they are going to be picked up very easily. Zerglings once again being sent on over to that 4th base. I think that Serral is now in firm control of this game. He doesn't have a huge bank. Oh, he even gets the kill there on the CC. He doesn't have a huge bank, but he has been, you know, he has been able to stabilize, right? And that's kind of the scenario that you want to be in here as a Zerg player. HeRoMaRiNE's still perfectly capable of producing an army, but it's starting to look a little bit more meager. It's not that powerful of an army anymore like we saw in the earlier stages of this match. Marauder's still in front, soaking a lot of these Baneling hits, and I love it. Really good stuff there, but the creep right now is back, and that's going to give Zerg significantly easier trades. That said, though, Serral doesn't have a oh my god, he once again is doing a Baneling run by. He's been relentless with those, man. He doesn't really have a whole lot of mining here anymore himself either, but he does still secure additional bases, essentially taking all of the expansions on his side of the map. Marines, still progressing forward, man. HeRoMaRiNE is taking efficient trades on creep. There's a handful of Terran players that can do that. Ultra upgrades, by the way, are researched. That is something worth noting. It looks like, by the way, that additional clump there of SCVs may have gone down, but yeah. Eventually here, HeRoMaRiNE runs out of steam. He doesn't have any income anymore because all of his bases were mined out. He decided in this game to go for an all-out assault on 4 command centers, and while Serral held on, he only held on by the skin of his teeth, but it was just barely enough. Beautiful game right there by the finisher. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I'll see you once again tomorrow for another video.